All right, looks like I am live. So let's see if anyone comes on live or who catches this later. But Mercury is just gone into Pisces. So I thought, well, I'm ready to go live. It was my second time doing this on YouTube, and I'm really enjoying it. So thought I would do a reading for you. And if it so happens that you want a card pulled for you, I have a link for you to do that in the description, and you can just comment. I think, um, the good thing about right now, while my YouTube channel is where it's at, if you do that, I'll probably be spending a decent amount of time on your card. So, yeah, it's a good opportunity for a card reading if you want. But I'm going to pull cards that pertain to you either way. So let's just get right into the card reading. I have all these decks in front of me. Can't see them, but they're right here. And so I'm going to pull from, we're going to start with the chakra deck. I've been really into this deck, I noticed this last week or so. And now I know that even though I see this backwards, it actually is going to be the right way. So hopefully even in life, but I know the recording for sure. And, oh, hi. Thank you, Letitia. I hope you're doing well too. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, so if you want to say anything or whatever, go for it. And I will keep checking the comments. And, yeah, so anyway, Mercury in Pisces, let's talk about that. Mercury in Pisces is in its fall or detriment, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, it has to happen somewhere, according to astrology for every planet. And so really, like, to me though, like, I notice I'm wanting to communicate more now. Like, maybe there's certain things, like I'm going to need to like look out for, like, in how I communicate my emotions. And it depends on what else is going on in your personal chart. And if you know your twin flames chart and you want to look at it and see, you can too. I always recommend really like focusing the most attention on your own chart unless you have a particular reason to focus on your twin flames or they're asking you to. I mean, it's still helpful to know, but like, it's just, there's a lot to master just even in your own chart. So it's a very good place to start and to ground into. So the first card is forgiveness. Now that's a pretty clear message, right? I don't know why it's a little bit dim. I wonder if you can hear that. It's very windy. The wind is going to die down tomorrow, but it's like 30 miles an hour, I think, 20 to 30. So yeah. And oh yeah, I forgot to check if the like if this is the right microphone that I wanted, but hopefully you can hear. So we'll just go with it. And I think that if you couldn't, probably would have told me. Hopefully. So yeah, forgiveness is key right now, and it's a really good time to forgive like bigger, more underlying feelings because like can see visible. And oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks. So, yeah, I mean, it's really important to forgive always. And actually, I really did experience this for myself today, not with my twin flame, but with a biological family member for me. But it's very pertinent to, my twin flame journey. So maybe like just me sharing that, speaks to you because it could be directly your twin flame, could be someone else in your life, could be both, something from the past that you really have the ability to go into that like oceanic kind of emotional feeling place and to get more insight into kind of like the very core, the coral reef that's like down at the bottom, what's going on there where you can't always like get down there and dive. Well, right now is a really good time to get down there and dive, and your mental capacity is up for it. Mercury in Pisces, because Mercury is about communication, but communication isn't just like talking to someone else. It's also about, stuff firing in your brain, your mind, and communicating, like communication that you receive from the divine, and also about travel and other things that Mercury is related to. But they all kind of really are the same thing, like the same essence. So let's pull at least one more card from this deck. And yeah, so forgiveness. And if you need, this one's creativity. I was gonna say though, if you are confused about how to truly forgive another, I really recommend A Course in Miracles, and doing the mirror exercise. If you don't know about that, should be links below in this description for the book Twin Flames: Finding Your Ultimate Lover. Um, but A Course in Miracles also, it just goes over all of these details about how to forgive without like giving yourself away. Because I think we're taught that forgiveness is something that it just is not, and because people don't always know how to forgive, they do their best. And now we've gotten to a point, I think, in evolution where there's more of a collective behind truly forgiving and moving past ego in that place. And so it's easier and easier for people to learn how to do. Um, and so that's a very good thing. And so when you forgive, you guess what? You have a lot more room to be creative. And it's funny because I also experienced this today. The cards that I pulled earlier for myself were not from this deck, but were very much pointing to me like, really like this is freeing up energy for your creativity. Lay down like your kind of like I don't know if it said weapons, but like your more um aggressive way of wanting to go about this, and kind of let it go, and make space for creativity. And I think that what I received is really for you as well, like however that resonates for you. But yeah, like Pisces is a very creative psychic sign. It's the last sign in the zodiac, so it's like bringing all the colors of the rainbow together, so to speak. And think about how like colorful some of the tropical fish are in the ocean. That's like that can be the energy of Pisces, and there can be like, if you aren't willing to go into these places, it can feel depressing, and that's why I think it's so important to go there and to move through the depression, and again learn the mirror exercise or practice it if you know it. It's really going to help you out. And so think about, how do you like to be creative? I know I like to literally do art, but I also like to do, sometimes, just making a thumbnail for YouTube feels like it satisfies that, or writing, a comment to someone is even sometimes satisfying. But then sometimes I really need to just be like very kind of literally what we think of as creative. So yeah, just feel into what your ideal creative activity is, and strive to make space for that coming up or even right now. And I think it'll feel really, really good. We're going to pull one more card from this deck. Truth. So this is the throat chakra. The throat chakra is associated with water and sky, like blue, right? And so I think about that because I think of the sign of Pisces. And so the truth of Pisces is going to be more of an emotional truth, and really conveying that. I mean, the things that I'm sharing right now in this live are not really, I notice I'm kind of like talking about things that I don't always talk about, not like in great detail, but going into like, some of my own healing today and stuff. So I'm talking about my truth, and I'm talking about my emotional truth. And so I think that this is a great time to practice that in your own way. And maybe you're not someone who likes to, be on camera per se, but maybe there's another way that you can share your emotional truth with others. I think it's really important to share it with more than just yourself, but start with yourself and God. If that's where you're at, at least make sure to share it with God, right? Like otherwise you're really you're kind of hiding yourself, and that doesn't actually feel good. You always want to bring light to those places. So as you do that, you're going to feel better, and you're also going to feel, better about forgiving, which was the first card, right? You're going to feel better about forgiving, and you're going to also have an easier time being creative because you're being truthful about what you want to create, and not kind of accidentally including things that you wouldn't want to necessarily in your creative process, like either a mistake or just kind of like, oh, why did I blend that way? That doesn't look so good. So the clearer you are, the easier it is. So that's cool. Let's do a little bit more here. And I'm gonna just check my phone, make sure. Yeah, seems like no notifications there, or nothing pertaining to this reading at least. So let's go with some crystal cards. And I was thinking maybe we'd spend like a minute with this selenite, and yeah, let's do that. Why not? It's so nice. Yeah, so I don't really know what to say about this other than it just feels good to kind of hold it up and like just hang out with this selenite crystal for a bit. And so, it's safe to do that. And I think just something really important that I have learned about, from my own journey with crystals and herbalism and astrology, obviously, is that the most important thing is by far the divine and God. And so, you do need to be careful to not like kind of um, fractalate, is that a word? Your focus like away from God onto, and kind of shift it as if like there's all these little parts of God around and there's no creator. But if you really recognize the truth, then it will help you to appreciate these kinds of things even more, but also to not like in any way depend on them, right? Like, yeah, not have a codependent relationship with that kind of stuff, but have a really flowing, peaceful relationship with it. And because of that, learn and discover more, about the consciousness of selenite, for instance. So let's, with that being said, do some crystal cards. And this is Eternal Crystals Oracle cards by Jade Sky. This was like either the first or second Oracle deck that I think I ever got. So special to me. Definitely fell in love with it right from when I saw it in the shop in Sonoma County when I was living up there, which is in California, if you don't know. And so, I looked at the bottom kind of. I didn't like really look, but since I kind of looked, let's just look at it all the way, might as well. So it's carnelian. It's number 9, which has, that's my life path number. And so number 9 is really like about, the higher wisdom, some kind of a completion. And that's what, I always just think of like pearls of wisdom, and also like living life, like the simple things in life kind of are the teachings of life that I can share, but I can, really desire to refine that. And this is self-confidence, root and sacral chakras. And, it also makes me think of like kind of business related stuff too, abundance, and kind of like that childlike affinity for, abundance too, for physical abundance, because we have root chakra, right? So yeah, just feeling into being more confident about what you truly desire, and that it comes from a more simple foundation. Like you don't build, a foundation on, crazy, like decorative, really cool stuff. You build a solid foundation, and then that's how you can do all the other cool stuff. So those simple things are very important. And to gain some kind of mastery enough, everyone's kind of ascension journey and the physical manifestation of it is going to look different. And that's more than okay. That's really beautiful and really cool. And you can learn from that from everyone and from your twin flame too, and recognize when you're holding like a higher vibration or when they've mastered something, and let go of holding on to control there and see like what they've mastered that you can apply, whether you're with them physically or not, or anything in between. So yeah, carnelian. I love carnelians. Makes me think of Lake Tahoe. So did I already cut the cards? I don't know. I'm gonna cut them again. Okay. So the next card is, I think it's called Iolites, Family and Third Eye Chakra. And yeah, for some reason I thought it said something else as well. But yeah, I think this is just about clear third eye and recognizing your own psychic abilities. Everyone has that, wants to go to that place to even transcend past it into being. But like, if you never go there, like, and really go into your emotions, like, I'm just not sure how that would be. That's not because it's just not my experience at all. My experience is like you really like going through feelings and emotions, but not focusing on that as like the final destination, focusing on peace. And I notice when I feel that my third eye is clear, that is a very peaceful feeling and often very grounding and very, I think it's family oriented, in that like it helps you just feel oneness and feel like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're alone meditating on a rock or sitting with a bunch of people, like you're just very present. And being present is a very like attractive and magnetic force for calling in just like the vibration of what you're desiring. And so you're bound to have more harmonious experiences as you do that. And yeah, it may help you as well get clear on who your true family is and take a next step there, because sometimes people reveal themselves one way or another, or you're still getting clear, or you're very clear already and you're just, at that point of, with the first card, forgiveness. So there's a lot of possibilities here, but it's safe to really not discard how you feel as like, oh, let's not keep thinking about that. Well, if it keeps coming up, really do look at it. See if there's a place you can go deeper with it and do the mirror exercise or something. And if it's a really good feeling, don't push it away. If you feel really good about someone and like, or if you're twin flame, let that be. Don't push it away from your heart. So let's pull at least one more card. Blue lace agate, communication, throat chakra. Well, it's very, very good for Mercury. That, is the theme basically of this reading. And number 6, really about sharing and also creating. I feel like creating and sharing. And, so that's a form of communication too. So I think this is about remembering that communication, sometimes we have an idea of how communication is supposed to go, or what we think we're going to communicate, or how we're going to communicate, like, how you're even going to live your life purpose. Because like, most people's life purpose involves communication, whether through you or kind of through your twin flame and in the back, I don't know, like kind of in the behind the curtains, what's something like that. You're playing your part, like you're doing it. Whatever feels good to you, but there's some kind of communication, whether it's just between you and God mostly, or you and the public, or you and a certain group of people. I mean, you're even communicating through a product. Like if you blend lotion for people, well, you're communicating to everyone who gets that lotion with your label, with the scent of your lotion, with, the consistency of it. I guess consistency being, is it consistent, but also like the texture and stuff. So double meaning. Yeah. But like there's communication in everything. And so this is about like where that creativity and communication meet, and really like not being afraid to go to the places where your emotions and feelings don't feel so good, because you're gonna find goodness there innately, because that's how you're created, in love. And so the clearer that becomes, the clearer your consciousness is, the more you purify, the easier it is to communicate that to another. So like the better your lotion is going to be. And maybe at first it's going to be more simple, but then because you have to like get rid of all the extra stuff and get back to like what really matters in that formula, and perfect that. And then you can see from there, like if you want to add back in other things or new things. So sometimes the process is not one of kind of accumulating more and more, but it can also be emptying your cup so that you can fill it with just like what is really love based. And yeah, throat chakra again. So, well, communication, throat chakra, ocean, sky, all the things like that have to do with Pisces, have to do with, yeah, the throat chakra. The throat chakra is also, related to the thyroid, or like kind of like a butterfly kind of symbol. And so, yeah, it's just good to pay attention to your like stress levels, to like, are your emotions stressing you out? And of course, if you need to seek professional medical advice, do that. It's very important if you need to. And yeah, you can also, of course, practice care for yourself, like be your own best self, trust others, trust God coming through other people, but also don't be afraid to explore what works for you in feeling like your absolute best, and of new possibilities too, ways that you hadn't done things before. That's how you grow and evolve. And that's my experience, and then kind of going back to the things I did before, seeing, is this still good? Is this something I want to do again? But doing it from a place of like a holistic place where, again, like not being dependent on it, feels really good. So I think that's going to do it for this reading. I kind of want to pull one more card, actually. Just one more to wrap it up, like from a different deck. So this is another crystal deck that I really love. It's Crystal Angels by Doreen Virtue. I guess, unfortunately, you could say it's out of print. So if you try to get it, from what I've seen, it's like, either more expensive or used or something or whatever. So gonna shuffle, cut the cards, not gonna look at the bottom card. And I just got this card in an email newsletter sent out the other day. Same one came up. I don't know, it's like a little bit dark. I guess I need to like figure out the lighting a little better, but that's okay. So this is Ready to Love Again, Tanzanite. Healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. So just keep on doing that inner work. You're really like, you're healing into more love. And that's just a really nice kind of pat on the back indicator to keep moving forward. And I just love the colors of this card too. There, now they're kind of like showing up pretty well. So yeah, you can just like feel that like opening, like, kind of like step 4 of the mirror exercise again when you do that. But yeah, just like don't be afraid to love again. And the forgiveness, right, is going to really help with that. And that can apply to your twin flame journey no matter where you're at. Like, you're going to keep on releasing that ego and stuff until it's done being completely released. So might as well just do that as you can. And So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thanks for joining me. If you were able to join, and we'll see you again really soon. You can check out the links below, and have a great week. It's the beginning of the week. So, yeah, I'll see you. Bye.